So does it bring you joy? Asking that question actually just brings up discomfort and kind of confusion. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Atypical Clutter Game. My name is April and this is Atypical Life. This is day 17. I forgot. But this is about KonMari or don't. Once upon a time in a land not so far away, YouTube, KonMari was the ultimate way to declutter. It was so trendy. Everybody was doing KonMari. I did a KonMari series on this channel. You can check it out. I'll try to playlist it somewhere. And I def read the book at least 2.5 times. So here's what I learned. All of this is kind of off the top of my head, so there's might be leaving some things out, but here's what I know for sure that I learned from KonMari, from doing the KonMari method. Decluttering a whole house this way is insanely time consuming, and most people, especially those with kids or several people in the house, will struggle to find time to commit to the process. Asking if your items bring you joy is absolutely brilliant, and I know that some people really struggle with this, but I feel like that some of those people, just some of them, are being purposefully dense as kind of a defense mechanism. Because I mean, obviously, sometimes we have to keep things that don't bring us joy. I think that it's pretty obvious. Hammer, gotta keep it. But I also think there's another more unfortunate reason that people struggle with this, and that's because of our culture. Our culture really encourages people to deny their emotions so often that a lot of people feel shame in connection with their emotions, and they're not really able to connect. They're not really able to connect to what brings them joy and what doesn't. So does it bring you joy? Asking that question actually just brings up discomfort and kind of confusion. So if you want to know more about getting in touch with your emotions and sort of the some more emotional type videos, you can check out my other channel. I have been very slowly investing in it and trying to get it off the ground. But I started with an emotional intelligence series, but I started it long ago, and I'm just kind of adding to it very infrequently. So check that out if you're interested. But so does it bring you joy is really a great question to add to your list, because feeling the feeling that you associate with the item is often a really fast, intuitive way to know whether or not something is working for you. You look at the shirt and you either have good feelings towards it or you have bad feelings. If you have bad feelings, if you have good feelings, it's a keep. If you have bad feelings, you probably don't want to keep it, but maybe you can justify keeping it, and then that's where the logic starts to come in, and blah, blah, blah. If you can just KonMari, it's so much faster. But I know people like us, people that are watching this series, it's a little bit more of a struggle, but that one was actually really helpful for me because it did make it really fast. Okay, so another thing I learned is that there's no such thing as only decluttering one time. Decluttering is a continual process, and I feel like KonMari method sold once and done. You'll do this one time and then you'll be done. But decluttering is a continual process, and especially if you have kids. But any changes in your life, day-to-day routine, hobbies, weight, height, mental capacity, eating habits, health, changes in society, gas prices, electric prices, new tech, new job, any part of your life that continues to grow will grow out of things and into other things. And you will be decluttering for life. So you may as well learn how to do it well, or at least learn how to do it in a way that works over time. Another thing, saying thank you to things is really helpful, especially items that you feel sentimental towards. Sometimes, my baby's clothes and stuff, sometimes I just hug those things and I have a little moment with them and I thank them and I tell them the things that they did for me that was amazing. And how I felt when I saw my baby wear this item or whatever. It doesn't have to always be this sentimental. I'm going a little overboard. But I know that I need to let this item go in order to honor the processes of growth and encourage the next phase to be supported and nurtured. And at this point, it might actually have to put it in the trash, and then that's hard. But one of the things, if it's going in the trash, I'll cover it up, so that I'm not torturing myself by looking at something that I loved in such a, place like a trash can. Anyways, decluttering by category is awesome because you're able to see duplicates or things that you can use instead of the other thing. You can also clearly see how much of something that you have, and a lot of times that helps us. It makes it easier to let go of stuff because you realize I'm never able to use all this. Like, it's just impossible. I have way more than days in life. So it happens, you know. The other stuff in the book went into like drawer folds and storage. I thought that stuff was kind of fun to try. The folding stuck with me, but not much else did that I can recall right off. I know I still like the folding. I still fold my drawers that way. Another really important thing to note is that Marie Kondo herself gave up on KonMari, and I think that's really unfortunate because there were a lot of really great points in the KonMari method. I just think it was oversold, and that she was a bit naive to think that you can declutter one time and that be it forever. She also didn't have kids when she was pushing KonMari, and you can just tell. You can tell that she didn't have kids and that she probably lived, I think she lived alone or just with her husband maybe. But yeah, you can just tell that like she had complete control or lots of control over her environment. She was someone who just really pushed that whole peaceful, calm life with nothing out of place and putting everything away right after you use it, and you're never running late. And, you know, that's just never going to happen for people who have more than one or two people living in their space. I also would like to say that I feel like this is kind of a side note, but she contributed to her downfall by pushing really expensive items, and I think it kind of just made people feel like duped. Like, oh, let's throw away all of our stuff so we can buy your really expensive stuff. But I think, we learned this, we learned this stuff. She got absolutely incredibly famous like that. Anyways, the point of me saying all this is that I wouldn't mind seeing her make a comeback. I would love to hear what her new outlook and what she learned while having kids, because I'm sure she's still a fantastic housekeeper, or she still thinks about things in that way. So I'm sure that she has some great thoughts. I would love to hear them. I'm always up for a really good comeback story. But the point is, if you want a big, systematic declutter, I personally think that KonMari is not the devil that some people tried to make it out to be, nor is it the one and done savior that others tried. But what it is was a really good way to get started. It had a pretty good roadmap, especially right there at the beginning. If you can just go through the categories that she lists in the book, that is a great roadmap. Your house will look so much better. Just know it is really time consuming. So if you can find the time, it's a great program. You will not have any regrets. You will not have any regrets if you KonMari your home. Okay, so this is day 17. I'm now at 170 items. I'm going to consider this 10 more, even though it's like quite a bit more than that, I guess. But this one was kind of inspired by the KonMari method. So as I was walking around putting up laundry, I was like, let me see if there's anything that I see that stands out that is not giving me joy. Like I said, I was putting up laundry. So we have like an old t-shirt, some socks, and an old washcloth and some underwear. But basically it was just like, these things don't fit right, they don't sit right, I don't use them, the color's wrong. There was something about them, and then I had kept them previously, because at some point they did bring me joy. But like for example, the socks, as they sat there unused, they started to not bring me joy, just because even though they were cute and they're a really nice fitting sock, I just don't wear them because they're the wrong color. So moving on, then the other thing that KonMari really I think it was the first time in my life that I'd ever really been confronted with paper clutter as an issue. I don't think I'd ever really thought about it before. And not only presented with the issue of paper clutter, but, she actually offers a solution, and her solution is basically not to keep any of it ever. And that at the time was incredibly revolutionary to me. I was like, what? And I mean, you're thinking like, we're just getting into the digital age here. When her book came out, I'm not saying we weren't just getting into it, but we were just getting more comfortable with it, I think, to get more comfortable with all your bills and stuff being paperless. So it was just really revolutionary to me. And it changed the way that I approach paper. Do I still struggle with paper? Yes, a little bit, nowhere near the way that I used to. Doing KonMari really encouraged me to come up with a nice filing system, and just a very small filing system. It's probably a little bit more than she recommends, but I still have my struggles. But I mean, it's one drawer, so I have a one drawer filing system.
I keep only those super most important things, and sometimes I get backed up on going through it, but I have that whole other system. One pile is shred and one pile is trash recycle. So I'm able to get rid of a whole lot more now that I'm not carrying around from day to day.
All right, you guys, that's all for today. Let me know if you tried to do KonMari, if you made it through the whole program. Keep posting your progress pics on Atypical Declutter, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.